Hi guys, I am back on the blogosphere, at least for today. Um, and okay, so there's a couple of things. Some of you know that I was climbing the CN Tower. I did that yesterday, which was Sunday, April 14th. I have to think about it. It's that long ago. It feels like forever ago, but I did it, climbed it. Didn't stop the whole time, just kept going, which was my goal, was just to keep going and get to the top without stopping, which I did. It took me 52 minutes and 20 seconds to do it, which was actually less time than I thought. I thought it would take me like a full hour, but I was a little under, so I'm pleased with that time. There were a couple times that I felt like going faster, but I didn't. But if you want the blow-by-blow, this Friday, I will be posting an article about my experience climbing the CN Tower, and you can find that on rptunnelofsight.com. I'll put the link below. The article won't be up till Friday though, so just so you know. I am posting this today, which is Monday the 15th of April, because tomorrow, when I get back home, and why am I going back home? Because it's me, and I had to go home to vote, because you know, that's just what you do when you're crazy into politics like I am. Anyway, so I wanted to voice my opinions on the Alberta situation. And I mean, I've been away for a couple of months. There's so much to talk about, and I will get to it eventually in the next few weeks. But right now, because this is kind of a pressing issue, as the vote is tomorrow, I wanted to say, first of all, Notley has been a great disappointment for many of us. I think a lot of us wanted some kind of change because the Conservatives at the time were so corrupt and so bad that we needed to sort of kick them in the pants. Unfortunately, we wound up kicking ourselves in the pants, but I believe it was because there was kind of a bait and switch that happened. I think that Notley came across as bringing one thing and wound up doing something completely different. So not impressed with what she's done, not impressed with her deafness to the people who put her into that position, or even to her own fragility in that position. Yes, she won, and she had a lot of power, and she could have done good things with it, and she could have actually redeemed the NDP as far as Alberta is concerned. However, she did the opposite. Now, I'll be surprised if she isn't decimated in the election. And of course, I mean, I sure as heck won't be voting for her. So there's that. And I mean, I'm sure you all knew there was no way I was going to give her a second chance because she blew the first one so badly. Not to mention, I am conservative. I always, well, not always, but I mostly vote conservative, and it's because of the economic principles, which are far more important to me than just about anything else. Because I figure if people have got the ability to take care of themselves, then society kind of takes care of the rest, and we can eventually put in laws and rules and things that suit us all as far as society or societal rules are concerned. So now, let's address all of these splinter groups, shall we? There are so many of them, it's crazy. It's like, okay, so we had the Wild Rose and the PCs, and now we have the PCs, the Alberta Party, the Freedom Party. There's like a slew of them, and it's like, where the hell did all of these come from? However, I do think, from what I've been observing as far as polls and stuff are concerned, we're going to wind up with the same situation as what was going on before the NDP got in. So we're going to wind up with kind of the PC, Wild Rose, just under different names, sort of duking it out over incidentals in the legislature, because the Alberta Party and the UCP are very similar in a lot of ways. So we're kind of back where we started. I don't know if we really accomplished anything with the orange hiccup, but yeah, back to where we started. However, okay, so I always liked Stephen Mandel. I know. There are so many people that didn't like him as mayor. I know he wasn't the best mayor. I liked him as mayor. I mean, considering I still remember Jan Reimer, I still have pains when, like from Jan Reimer's time, there were worse and there have been better. And Stephen Mandel I kind of liked. So, you know, we just kind of have to deal with what we're thrown, and he was one of my favorites. So I really gave the Alberta Party a lot of credit because of my affection, I suppose, for Mandel. However, quite frankly, Jason Kenney has totally won me over, and that happened just last night. And the reason is, like, I think he's a pretty good guy. I didn't like him at first. Whenever he was going for the leadership of the UCP, I really didn't like him. I thought he was kind of an outsider, and he had gone federal, and federal, I don't know, maybe wasn't working out for him, so he decided to become provincial. I don't know. There was a lot of skepticism on my part as far as Jason Kenney was concerned. However, last night, like, his policies are good. I think they're good, concrete kind of policies. I'm waiting to see more things. Again, it's got to, once they get into power, then you see what they're really made of. So I'm waiting to see that. But last night he did a question and answer, kind of almost like an open mic on Facebook last night. And I really admire a politician who's willing to do that and who's willing to answer the questions from the people. And so that was a big part of it. And then what he had to say was good, solid information, and done with an earnestness that I don't think can be faked. So I really believe that he wants the best for Alberta, and so he's going to get my vote. I'm not saying to anybody that you have to vote the way that I'm going to vote. That's all entirely up to you. I just think if you really have a look at the different players, I'm not like anybody that's watching me from Alberta is probably conservative, but it is a tough choice between those parties on the right, because their ideas are so different in some ways. So yeah, it's a tough one, but yeah, I think Kenney is the way to go, and I'm hoping that he wins. And I don't know why he's not as popular in Edmonton as he is in Calgary and the rural areas, but maybe it's because of some of the rhetoric that goes on in Edmonton, because it's a very there's a lot of lefty kind of stuff that goes on in Edmonton, and I think it's just because there's a lot of like arts industry and stuff there, and maybe that has some influence. I'm not sure, but regardless, I think if people really look at what he's offering and what he has to say, and his earnestness, really, it just comes down to his earnestness. It just looks to me like he really wants to make a difference, and he really wants to do good for Alberta, and for me, that's what matters. If you care about Alberta as much as I care about Alberta, even though I'm not sure if I want to live there, because, you know, the world is a wonderful place, and it's been great traveling. I still love Alberta. It's still the province that made me who I am today, and I appreciate that. I think it's beautiful, and it has so much to offer, and I want the best for it, and I think that's what Jason Kenney does as well, and so that's who I'm going with. So there you go. There it is in a sort of quick synopsis of my thinking, as quick as synopsis of my thinking goes. So that's it for today. Make sure you get, if you are from Alberta, make sure you get out there and vote tomorrow, because regardless of who you vote for, it is your responsibility to get out there and do the right thing for your community, and that is to place your vote and have your voice heard. So all the best, and I will talk to you all again soon. Have a good one, guys.